Good morning, Pastor Curt here, and I got a question for you. How busy are you? If you're like me, you're really busy. And sometimes it could be hard to slow down and really love people well. Got a text this morning, a big group text, and it was a strategic text. It had an article in it, great article, incredible article. In fact, such a good article that everyone on the group text started texting back and forth different ideas and comments about the strategy and leadership and importance of this information. And in the midst of this, my buddy, Chris Brown, texted all of us a picture of him playing Risk with his kids. He said, "Sorry, can't read this article right now. I'm busy dominating my children." You know, there's something about that that's just, well, it's just great. And the reason is we all have to stop and really just take care of the people around us. I know there's a lot going on in our nation right now, but I want to ask you to take this Thanksgiving weekend, not just the day, this weekend. Stop worrying. Stop worrying about the country. Stop worrying about the cabinet. Stop worrying about what they said on Twitter or Facebook or what your Uncle Bud who drinks a Bud said at dinner. Just stop and love on the people that God's put in your life. You know, Jesus modeled this for us. In Mark chapter 2, we have this interesting story where Jesus is in someone's home and he's teaching. I bet you he was teaching some very strategic things. And in the middle of it, the roof starts to cave in. 4 friends have taken their one sick friend and they've literally dug a hole in the roof to lower this man to the feet of Jesus. Here's what it says in Mark chapter 2, starting in verse 4. Since they could not get him to Jesus because of the crowd, they made an opening in the roof above Jesus by digging through it and then lowered the mat the man was lying on. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralyzed man, "Son, your sins are forgiven." You know, one of the most annoying things in life is an interruption. Jesus' response to this interruption is so amazing. He doesn't get annoyed. He sees the faith of 4 people wanting to love someone near them well, and he forgives the man. You know, never let people be an interruption. Always look at them as an opportunity. What are some things you can do this Thanksgiving to actually love the people around you well? Well, I put together a short list, just brainstorming. Number 1, go on a walk with them. A couple years ago, we went on a walk right after Thanksgiving, went by this little creek, and my daughter said, "Dad, are there any salmon in there?" We looked down, and I'm not joking, 2 big salmon come swimming up this little California creek right by our house just then. Here's another idea. Be Chris Brown. Play a board game. And don't get upset if you don't take over Africa before your son. And here's another thing. Cook together. Don't be that person who does all the cooking. Get the non-cookers in the kitchen and get them working on it. Drop in on a friend. Who do you have that's lonely? Maybe they didn't respond to your invitation. Well, you go respond to them. Go bust in on them for a few minutes. Bring some cheer over to their house. How about this? Serve your meal in courses. Don't do that American thing where you just cook it all, blob it onto the plate this big, scarf it in 15 minutes, and you're done. Actually, you know, have the salad course, then have the soup course, then have the mashed potatoes and string bean course. You know, I mean, you break it up the way you want it, but let the dinner last a little bit. Go foofy on that dinner. Here's another one. How about when you watch the football game, you print out a couple player profiles? You know, I've found about my wife, she won't watch sports unless she understands the struggle one of the players is going through. If he's just gotten married or just had a new baby or his wife is going through a physical challenge or a health challenge, all of a sudden, my wife is all leaned in and watching. Go through some player profiles, pray for a coach, do something to make the game a little bit more than a game. Here's another idea. Just go play football. This is a great American tradition. Go outside, I don't care how uncoordinated you are, and get some exercise. And here's the last suggestion. Pray for one another. Just spend a moment. Don't just be thankful, but be thankful in prayer. And then if someone's struggling, they're having a tough semester, they're having a tough time at work, they're just struggling, spend some time to pray. It's always hard to get into prayer, but man, when you let prayer become a God interruption, you love people well. I'm sure you can think of 5 or 6 more things. Make a list today. Make a better list than mine even. And then use this weekend to stop and start loving people well around you.